A new WWE signing has been revealed, and this one's a very interesting one. Also, we're going to talk about RVD firing back at AEW fans. He's been lit up all over social media. Now he is taking to a video to actually address everything that is going on. And it turns out that somebody is actually contracted to AEW still, and they're not allowed to attend WrestleMania 41, which is bringing up a really big discussion. We're going to talk about it all right here on the Ango Show, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, if you're not subscribed, you should probably click subscribe so this way you don't actually miss videos here on the channel. Okay, I want to actually kick things off with RVD. Rob Van Dam, legend in the wrestling business, has appeared on AEW, has appeared in WWE, has appeared in ECW, has appeared pretty much everywhere, right? And this is a really interesting conversation because there's been a lot of people who have been really upset with Rob Van Dam after he criticized and displayed his own opinion on the Jon Moxley spot regarding the spiked bat, right? And so for those who are unaware of what has actually happened here, a lot of people have really gone after him. RVD now says, if your perspective was that you think that I was bashing AEW, boom, you're wrong. Raise your hand if that's what you think. Okay, now I didn't bash AEW, and I wouldn't bash AEW, and it seems to me by far the worst part about AEW, and I hope this quote gets picked up, is the fans on IWC. The fans are so ignorant. I'm going to tell you what I did say, okay? My whole career in ECW, even before that, the matches that Sabu taught me were garbage matches, which included all the weapons and gore and had wrestlers that didn't even know how to wrestle to be in the match, okay? Those have always been at the bottom of the list of my favorite matches. That's my opinion. If you don't think I have a right to say that because I was in ECW, not only does that not make any sense, but you're one of the idiots that needs to realize that there's room to learn. So here's the thing. Those matches, especially the ones that I have, like thumbtacks, glass, fire, fish hooks, and when they have the competitors in there that don't do a single wrestling move and they don't even know how to wrestle, quote, to me, that's not wrestling. The more AEW does things like that, like the Jon Moxley spiked bat thing, and I think that they're heading in that direction more, and I think WWE is heading into more like old school WWE storytelling in the ring and less of a stick a needle through someone's cheek, burn their house down, go for shock value. The more that they seem to be two separate styles, which I'm fine with, the more I personally would rather have RVD, the wrestler, associated with WWE. And he goes on and says a lot more than that, but the reality is, what he is saying, it's his opinion. I don't understand why wrestling fans have to be so upset when a wrestler says anything regarding AEW or WWE. They're the ones who have experienced it. They're the ones who have actually been there. I think it's so strange that wrestling fans think they know more than the wrestlers themselves. Especially based on something that's subjective. But here we are talking about it because this is a common issue with AEW's audience. So strange. That brings us to our next topic, Ric Flair. Okay, this is crazy because we know he was signed to AEW, but a lot of people didn't know what's going on. So basically, Ric Flair was asked on Busted Open Radio if he would be at WrestleMania to potentially see John Cena winning the 17th World Championship. He says, I wish I could say that I was, but I'm not, and I understand why. And I'm not mad about it by any means. Every time they talk about the title, my name does get mentioned. They keep me relevant. It's very cool. John is a great guy. Cody is a great guy. Then he says, because there was a follow-up question as to why WWE wouldn't want him there. And he says, I work for another company. I'm sure I would be more than welcome. Absolutely. If I wasn't working with Tony, I would absolutely be there. They couldn't keep me out of the building. Now, the thing about Ric Flair is that he definitely draws headlines and he definitely drives the conversation forward. A lot of people do tend to believe that when it comes to Ric Flair himself, he is quite controversial. He is contracted to AEW, but we have not seen him on AEW programming for a long time. We don't see them promoting Woo Energy. It appears to me that Ric Flair's situation could be true in the sense that WWE doesn't want him there because he's with AEW. The only thing that's really odd about that is the fact that maybe WWE hasn't even invited Ric Flair, right? Maybe they haven't even inquired about Ric Flair being there. And the reason why I even position that or bring that up in this particular situation is for the simple fact that there is rumors that WWE wants other AEW people to attend. So I don't know if maybe they really did invite him or if they didn't invite him. But listen, the reality is AEW has sent, I won't say have sent because that's not true, but AEW has allowed some of their talent to be at WWE events. So we saw it with Ricky and WWE at the Royal Rumble. So I don't know if this is a WWE thing or if this is a Tony Khan thing, but what this kind of thing tells me is that Ric Flair is not being factored in really at all with the Cody and Cena story. If Cena wins number 17, they will probably acknowledge the fact that he passed Ric Flair's record. That's not something that they've shied away from. But I don't think WWE would have plans for Ric Flair to be on TV or on screen in any capacity. So I think this is just a matter of, if Ric Flair was sitting in the crowd, okay, that's a little bit different. But if Ric Flair were to actually be on screen posing with Cena or doing something of that nature, that would obviously be very different. So just kind of keep that in mind when discussing this. But it sounds like he's been banned from WWE. Whether that's a WWE decision or a Tony Khan decision, I don't know. He says maybe he would be more than welcome, but clearly not at this point. So who really knows? When Ric Flair's talking, you never really know, but it's something worth talking about for sure.
Now would be the best time to remind you that we have a major goal to hit 100,000 subscribers. Over 40% of the viewers who watch this channel are not subscribed. Please click subscribe if you enjoy staying educated on everything with wrestling news.
And that brings us to our final topic of today's video, ladies and gentlemen. WWE has apparently signed Kelly Kelly to a legacy contract. And this is a good one. According to Fightful Select, multiple sources within and close to WWE have confirmed that former Divas champion Kelly Kelly has signed a Legends deal with the WWE. The agreement obviously brings her back in a official capacity. It's not likely that she'll be wrestling for the company and anything, but with these legacy contracts, these Legends contracts, essentially what that means is that Kelly Kelly could be part of video games. She can have action figures. She can have merchandise being sold. If they want to bring her on TV, which WWE has done in the past, where they bring people under Legends deals on TV, to celebrate them or to have them in a backstage segment or something, that would be allowed here. Kelly Kelly is a very interesting name, by the way, because Kelly Kelly to me is somebody who was always talented, but it was always wrong place, wrong time. And I feel like Kelly Kelly would have actually flourished in a different era with WWE, maybe more of the modern era. I know some people might disagree with me on that, but I do genuinely believe she would have flourished. Now it's a little bit different. Now she's not an active competitor, and maybe she jumps in for the Royal Rumble. Maybe they do something like that. It's not to say that she won't be a wrestler, but these Legends contracts are so intriguing to me because WWE has been handing them out like hotcakes recently. So the fact that, you can still make money with WWE even after your in-ring career is done, which is good. And Kelly Kelly is somebody who has built a notable brand outside of professional wrestling all these years. So this is just another, extra cookie for, hey, you're going to be recognized for the work that you've done in the past. And this is an opportunity for us to stay connected and do business together. And I think that's a good thing, man. I don't see anything wrong with that. So you guys can let me know what you think in the comment section down below. WWE mending the fences with a lot of older talent that are no longer active. I think it's a good thing. What do you guys think? Drop a comment down below.